Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Trust the Tape. It's good to see you guys. This is former Cowboys scout, NFL personnel man, the finest drafter of all time. He got to run one draft, and he found 700 Pro Bowlers. The great and powerful Brian brought us.
Hey, Brian.
And I am Jeff Cavanaugh from the DLS Cowboys podcast.
My name is Jeff.
Cavanaugh! It's good to see everybody for another episode of Trust the Tape as we are getting ready for the Dallas Cowboys to whoop up on the New York Jets. I predict the Cowboys to win every game by somewhere between 30 and 40 points before I make my real prediction. I like to serve the diehards who always believe you're going to win with that prediction. And if you turn off our show before the last 60 seconds, you won't see my real prediction. So you'll just hear that the Cowboys are going to win by 30 or 40. Salute to everybody who's here before the show even starts. If you've hit the like button, I appreciate you even more because those things are good for the algorithm. So thank you guys for being there. And good morning, Brian Broaddus.
Hello, sir. You ready to deal with a game with a lot of injuries?
I'm ready to deal with the walking wounded that is the Dallas Cowboys. And let's see, can they field an offensive line?
That's going to be a question.
Are there any pass catchers? Trevon Diggs claims he's coming out of the doghouse and he's getting to start again. we got some wildness. We got some wildness going on with this one. Will they have an offensive line take the field, Brian?
Right now, as I was driving in before our show, I made a call and talked to some folks over there, but kind of know what's going on. And it looks like that Guyton still has not cleared protocol, so there could be an issue at left tackle. And Smith, who's dealing with the tendonitis and stuff, is actually now going to be a game time decision.
Oh God, who's even the next guy? We already got Bass and Hoffman.
Adeniji, maybe it's Adeniji that would start there.
Okay.
So, or we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But right now, today, there's a possibility you'll be without your left tackle, your left guard, your right guard, and then and your center. So that's kind of where you're at.
Okay, so we would go Thomas, Adeniji, Hoffman, Bass, Steele. At least we got Terrence Steele, Brian. He can hold it down for us. The guy who we've been trying to replace this whole time. We need him to really carry the offensive line now.
And you look at the Jets, and I'm sure you've done it on all your shows too, with Will McDonald being an edge rusher there and then Quinnen Williams being a defensive tackle. And I knew people were going to come in with this, the Niners one. I knew that everybody
did, Brian. They
absolutely did. They had a list. Had quite a list, but
Well, Mac Jones couldn't walk between drives. He looked like he died 6 times. He just kept going out there.
Let me ask you this though, and I had somebody on Twitter already asked me this question because I was very much of going for it against the Packers on 4th and 4.
You yelled at me about it. I remember.
I didn't yell, but I was
you taunted. You would have got it. On an NFL game. The way you treated me would have been a 15-yard penalty, brother. That was taunting.
I called you a coward because earlier in your life, your football life, you were like, yeah, what are we talking about? Don't punt, don't kick field goals. What are we doing here? Yeah, okay. It's what you become me, and I become you because I would have gone for it. I applaud the Rams for going for it last night.
4th and 1, I'm all day. 4th and 2, I'm pretty much all day. You get up to 4, and I start going, I don't know, guys. But yes, and I respect the numbers behind it. And
78% say go.
78's a big number. At 78, I might have to tell my team, look, we're going, boys.
Yeah.
But
I applaud coaches, and you mentioned it. Mac Jones couldn't even walk, and people were like, well, damn, Brian. I mean, what? I just know you watch the flow of that game. They had 17 play drive, 19 play drive. You kick a field goal there, you're 3 minutes and something left. You're probably losing that football game.
Yeah,
you're probably going to lose that football game. Especially with the condition of your team. You're not exactly playing great, and you have a chance to end it potentially right there.
Yeah. McVay. I
like McVay. You know what?
Yeah, he outthought himself though.
Well, he had another situation that he went for 2. Now, the early going for 2s, I don't know about that crap.
Down 8 going for 2 is a no-brainer at all times, Brian.
Well, how about down? Was it 13-8? Go for 2 first after the
Yeah,
first.
to give him 3. Yeah. I think that's pretty much a no-brainer. Well, that early, there's a lot of game
Yeah,
left. There's a lot that's gonna happen. Yeah,
exactly.
more of a
That's
late move, I think.
yeah, that's a little bit of a later move.
But he called a dive. Like, I think
Yeah,
that's just overthinking himself. Like,
yeah.
you're winning or losing with Matt Stafford, not Kyron Williams. You're winning or
Kyron Williams is a
losing.
good player.
No,
Okay,
he is a good player, but your quarterback's thrown for 4 hundo. He's making me money on prize picks.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta put it in your quarterback's hands, not your running back.
Well,
Come
maybe
on.
outthought himself. I, you know what? I'm okay with that. But enough of that. We got to talk about the Jets and the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, the Jets. So the thing that intrigues me the most is one of the guys that actually will play and probably doesn't mind that CeeDee Lamb's out because he'd like to have a whole bunch of numbers at the end of the year so he can get paid. George Pickens, Sauce Gardner, pick the winner in that matchup because I was happy to find out when I went and did my researching. Sauce Gardner's absolutely positively going to follow George Pickens. Every time they
I
play
would say
a
about
big
75. Yeah.
when they play a big wide receiver, he follows. If there's not one of those guys available, he doesn't. So Sauce will be following George Pickens. And so far this year, when he follows big people, he's done really, really well this year. Sauce Gardner has. Is George Pickens going to whoop him, or is he about to get locked down?
Well, it's funny with Sauce. There's been times where there's been some plays where he's given up some stuff too. Now, Steelers and stuff like that. I mean, you're right though. He is the thing about it is, Jeff, okay, the thing I worry about the most, and I keep saying the thing I worry about, or the thing. But what I do really worry about is that Pickens, and you tell me because you're the wide receiver whisperer.
I got you. Come on.
Pickens doesn't move around. You can't get him away from people. You can't put him in the slot. You can't, he doesn't go in motion much. You make it pretty easy when it comes to covering him because he's not going to do what I learned last week in the game was that it takes Pickens and Turpin to make one CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Pickens is, he's 6'4" or whatever. He's a big dude, and the big long-legged dudes don't tend to be your motiony, move around.
He just doesn't even move at all. He doesn't move at all, and so it makes it difficult to say.
They will formation him a little bit. They'll formation him a little bit in terms of tighten up the splits. Like at some point, one of his big catches last week, he was technically lined up. You would call him either whatever you call your slot or you would call him the Z. Like he was actually lined up as the inside guy off the ball, tight to the formation to a twin side. Like they'll move him in that regard.
Yeah.
But they won't move him in regards of be in motion at the snap, try to lose a guy that way.
Right.
We can try to lose a guy by tightening it up and then crossing up off the line of scrimmage, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. I personally feel like, man, this would be the game. Now it's going to be likely on Tolbert and Flanoy and others, because to me, Brandon Stevens is the one you go after.
Oh, is that Find the Scrub?
Yeah, that's your guy right there. That's your guy. So to me, this game once again is you're going to need all hands on deck like you had on Green Bay, where Tolbert was making plays, Flanoy was making plays, Turpin was making plays. I mean, you're going to need everybody contributing this one. This might be a game where it's better throwing the ball than it is running the ball. And here I am talking about the Cowboys struggling with their offensive line. But your quarterback's been so damn good. That's the problem that you're going to run into is, can your offensive line hold up if you have to throw the ball? Running the ball seems the last 3 weeks has been pretty good against the Jets. Week 1 against the Steelers, they really locked the Steelers down. It was less than 3 yards a carry, and it was tough. It was really tough, as you would say, tough sledding for the Steelers in that one.
This could be asking too much of your quarterback.
It could. It very well
what he
could
did
be.
last week.
Yeah.
Last week was amazing the way that he played, and some of the fun little charts and graphs from some of the nerds that I follow. Like the way that Dak Prescott throughout this year so far, when pressured, I have a secret for all football fans. If you go look up any quarterback and you see clean pocket versus when he's pressured, when they're pressured, bad things happen.
Yeah.
Dak's been as good or better under pressure as he has been in a clean pocket.
That's true.
No one does that for 18 weeks. No one. So if they can't block, the idea that he can go hang 40 again, I think might be kind of far-fetched. I do think the Jets suck, right? And that's important. I do think the Jets suck and you can win this football game, but I do think there are actually some things in their favor. If the Cowboys are really running out 4/5 of their offensive line backups, and I think the Jets like the Sauce Gardner George Pickens matchup.
I think they do too.
I'm not saying Pickens can't win it, but they like that. The thing they want for Sauce is a stationary big number one.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Right.
And so I do think there are things that the Jets are going to look at in this game and be like, boys, we got a shot at this one.
Yeah.
I will put my faith in the fact that you have a considerably better quarterback and the Jets are a bad football team, and that we got a little positive momentum coming out of a tie, if that's possible. So I do think the Cowboys are going to win the game, but I think it's going to be tougher than people might think. Like you got a lot of obstacles.
I have my doubts just because I always believe in the desperate team theory. I think Dallas was a desperate team last week and played up to the level. It just didn't get the victory out of it. I think the Jets are. I don't think the Jets can go 0-5. I think this is going to be a problem. I think the problem, you've got a running back that can catch the football well out of the backfield. Dallas hasn't defended the flat since the Reagan administration. It's been that long. I mean, it's just, to me, when you throw the ball to backs, it seems to be a problem. When you throw the ball in the flat, it seems to be a problem. You have a quarterback that is, when protected, can make throws. Garrett Wilson's a good player, and so all of a sudden now you got Garrett Wilson involved. We'll see how healthy Mason Taylor is, their tight end. They really haven't got him going like they probably should. That's been a problem in the past. Dallas's corner situation, the safety situation, we'll see if it's better. But the one thing too, the Jets have a problem with pass protection when it comes to when you bring extra rushers, because their coordination between their backs and their line hasn't been really, really good. And so the teams that have gotten pressure now, Tyrod Taylor playing, that Tampa game was what it was, but Fields will run himself into some sacks. He'll move in the pocket and then all of a sudden sack himself, kind of thing. But can Dallas get some pressure on this guy? Can they find some ways? Because you let clean pocket and Garrett Wilson and those guys, I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I worry about this. I worry about the running quarterback. I worry about the guy that all of a sudden it's third down, he drops back, his eye level goes down, and now you don't have contain and you don't have anybody in the flat and you don't have any, it's just now it's he just takes off and runs like 40 yards.
Yeah.
I worry about that. I worried about Caleb Williams running with the Bears, but Caleb Williams didn't have to run. He had clean pocket and can make throws. So if it's clean pocket and throws, you're not going to see the running quarterback. But if it's in fact the opposite of that, this game is going to be very difficult for Dallas. You're right. They've got the best player in the quarterback. The problem is, though, where's everything else? Where's everything else going to come from?
Swayze's in the super chat. This is a rebuilding year. Please don't add and take resources from seasons that are potentially Super Bowl windows. Let the scouts earn their money. And that is something that I wonder about, and I put in the title for today's show, Brian, is with where they are, not only walking wounded, but offense giving you hope that they're absolutely good enough to be a playoff team, make whatever. Are you interested in the Cowboys calling around and seeing? We see the very Recky Specky when people throw out Hendrickson and Crosby. Is there anything out there that makes you want to add to this team, or do you basically tell them, yeah, I'll think about it, go win me 3 in a row?
That's my attitude. Exactly. And people say, well, damn, Brian, go get a guy right now to make sure you win those 3 games. And I'm like, well, I'm not interested in giving up a potential first-round pick, maybe Green Bay's pick, maybe my own. Projections have Dallas winning like 6 games. That's projections. And so, that's been reevaluated from the start of the season where they had him win. I had him winning 9 games, and I still think 9 wins would be a great season for this football team. I say that in a way because of a first-year head coach and trying to build the program and all those things. For everybody else, that might not be great, but he needs to have a winning season. This thing does not need to be like 3-14 or something crazy like that. It needs to be on the positive side. So all the things that he's trying to implement. But I'm more interested in seeing how you play these next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Tell me you're going to beat the Jets. Tell me you're going to beat Carolina, and tell me you're going to beat beat the Commanders at home. And you win 3 straight. Now I'm talking about, okay, I've got a legitimate chance here to kind of do some things. Maybe by the time we get to the trade deadline, right there at the Arizona game, that you have an idea what your team really, really is. But I'm not interested right now in just throwing, saying going to get somebody. It's, before I do not want to give up a third, a first round pick potentially for something that's not going to help me get into the playoffs.
I'd like to shout out this guy in the chat who said, "Oh my God, Jeff, I got recommended your channel. I haven't heard you in years. Glad you're still alive." Sometimes the world is smaller than we think.
Yeah.
The number of people who, when you leave one place that you've been for a long time, where I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I have a Twitter account. You didn't follow me on Twitter? You haven't seen the things that I'm doing? Is crazy. But welcome. Welcome in. Trust the Tape every Tuesday and Friday with Brian Broaddus, and I'm on the DLS Cowboys podcast 5 days a week, okay? Pre- and post-game show. Make sure you're following Crown Global Media as well. Hit up Tailgate USA, if you're looking, if you got a tailgate situation. They'll get you all squared away.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, so the only thing I don't want them to do if they're going to be a team that adds is I think the Cowboys are in a real weird spot where they're walking a real weird tightrope. Where they want to have, when you trade Micah, you have maybe not fully announced it, but that's a rebuilding move. You're trading one of your best players for first round picks that will hopefully pay dividends in 2, 3, 4, 5, all those years. And so that's a rebuilding move. That's why you have the worst defense in football. But if your offense is that good, then the one way you could make this trade into something where I go, ooh, is somebody like Max Crosby, who is under contract through 2029. If you can replace 80, 90% of the player that you got rid of and be spending less money and the net draft pick gain is there, now you're cooking with something. But I don't think that this defense is close enough that what you're going to do is go add guys like they added in the offseason, where they're trading late round picks for guys to plug into the hole of a drowning boat. Don't go get me. Oh, yeah, we think this guy's a little better than that guy. We think this guy's, if it's not a real difference maker that's going to help you, not just this year, but for this year and probably 2 more, the Dak window, don't mess with that crap. Don't half butt it.
Yeah, but this is where this is where we fall into this problem, this rut, whatever you want to call it. When they think about going out and getting a guy like Javonte Williams, and then it works out the way it does, it kind of makes them feel like, well, we can plug holes. We're pretty good at plugging these holes.
But then do you not pay attention to Kenneth Murray, Kyer Elam, like most of the guys?
But all it takes is one. All it takes is one. Well, they went out. Reedy Stewart is not great, but they look at that as like, okay, we'll claim this guy. Sure, look what we're doing here. Yeah, the thing with
those are
Williams,
just guys who can survive on an NFL field. That's not helping you.
I would say Williams is playing more than survival right now.
Right, but Reddy Williams is not a difference maker.
Reddy Stewart.
Isn't that what I said? I'm sorry.
Williams. You said
but like Reddy Stewart's not a difference maker. He's a thank God we thought that we might have a guy that was totally incompetent, but he's actually not bad. Like that's not good. That's not one more of those doesn't change.
No, that's what I'm saying though. That could be their attitude. That like, you know what? We've added. I just keep using the example of Williams. They
But they could have added 10 guys to do that. Like,
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Where I know I misevaluated Williams myself
right.
is when it became padded football.
Yeah.
He's a better player.
Oh, yeah.
When it's t-shirts and helmets, he's not. So, but their attitude is, look what we did. Hell, we added a big time player that's one of the top 4 at his position through week 5 of the season. That's it. Like, I know. You're not wrong. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not beating.
It sounds like the attitude of a team that would love to scrape into the playoffs and then get mollywopped. Right? That's what that attitude sounds like. Where it's like, look what we can keep finding. We can find them. We can find them.
No. They take pride in that. It's a very prideful thing. I agree with you. Going to get Max Crosby would and you get him for a couple years at $38 million or whatever that number is. Hell yeah.
Yeah, like
Max Crosby he never comes off the field. He plays the run, man. He's a but that's what I'm saying. All right, let me ask you this. And I don't know if I've asked you this question. I didn't know if I asked you this question on Tuesday.
I'll take C.
There's no C.
Oh, that's what I always did on tests. Okay.
What if it cost you your pick to go get Max Crosby?
The Cowboys' first round pick?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, no chance. No chance. The Cowboys' first round pick is probably worth more than both of the Green Bay first round picks. Probably. We'll see. But no, I'm not giving
You're
up.
You're not very committed to try and fix your team, are you?
No, I think that there's 2 routes, and I'm with you. Win 3 games in a row and call me back.
Oh, I know. That's me. I'm asking you. I'm asking you. I'm trying to gauge
if you do that.
How
I
committed?
Get more mad at you for trading Parsons. I'm like, you're giving up as much as you got for Micah Parsons for a lesser player. You're insane.
Well, no, wait a minute now. No, wait a minute.
He's a lesser
player.
He's wonderful. He's awesome. He's a lesser.
You just told me he's 90% of what you just gave up.
Less than 100. Do your math, Brian. It's less than 100.
I'm just saying, man. You're giving me a good option.
It would be a great admission by Jerry that I'm an idiot and I just got mad at Micah.
we all damn well know he got mad at Micah.
I know.
We know he got mad at Micah, and Micah got mad at him.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
1758 games in the super chat. This question's for Brian. How come the front office?
It's with a Y, Brian with a Y, Brian with a Y, B-R-Y.
Right.
No, I'm just having fun with you right now.
No, he's not though. Get his name right. Have a little respect. How come the front office has not drafted a linebacker or safety in the first or second round since Roy Williams?
Haven't sat in that room since 2005. Probably would fight for one if I was there. But yeah, I mean, to me, what do they draft Micah Parsons as? Linebacker?
Yeah, in theory. Yeah, they took a linebacker at 12 overall.
Sure did.
Just got lucky that he
BRYN. Thank you very much. Appreciate your question. No,
the super chat.
No, seriously. Yeah, the safety stuff is the safety. I mean, I know there was the last few years we've seen guys go. Hell, you could go all the way back to Jalen Ramsey. You could go all the way back to the 2016 draft, and there were questions about, was Ramsey a corner or a safety to the Cowboys?
Yep.
Don't kill the messenger here. That's legitimately what was going on. They didn't know whether to play him at corner or play him at safety. And then you go back, and then there's been guys like Brian Branch. Where do you draft Brian Branch? Is he a corner or is he a safety? They've had opportunities. Makuba, kind of look at it where those things are. Me personally, I just kind of feel like that. They probably should. They absolutely should look at one of these things, but they haven't.
I think there are a lot of things that they do right. Just sometimes they get carried away with them. Because I do think that there is such a thing as positional value. You look at how much players get paid in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Edge rushers are now almost $50 million players. Mm-hmm. Linebackers and safeties are not. Mm-hmm. And so unless you feel like with a first round pick, super good about a linebacker or a safety, and you do not feel good about a left tackle prospect, a pass rusher, a corner, a wide receiver, those picks, you got to feel real. And I like Brian Branch, loved him. I had
Mhm.
no doubt I could take
Great player.
Brian Branch over a more premium position
Mhm.
because I know that's a hit.
Yeah.
And you don't know that about some of the other guys. But I think the positional value is part of it, and that they do a pretty decent job with that stuff.
Mhm.
And he said, since who? Roy Williams? Leighton Vander Esch was a 1. They took Vander Esch. They took Sean Lee was a 2.
I think he was being facetious.
Okay. All right.
Facetious.
Casey's got an idea in the super chat. He said, how about trading a round 2 pick this year and next year, then taking a first in each year and trading down to recoup those seconds, captain trade down. Now we're cooking, Casey. See, you've got a plan. And
all
then
we have to do is get 4 teams to agree with us on that, and we'll be good.
Exactly. And they will. We can get it handled. That's a great idea, Casey. I appreciate it.
Trading down's a good thing.
There's a lot happening in this username.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers and letters and J-Dog. Cowboys should absolutely be aggressive and trade for Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett just signed. You can't do that one. Well, Crosby did too, but his is more manageable contract. Myles Garrett, Crosby, or Jeffrey Simmons. We have the draft capital to do it. Stop wasting Dak's good play with no pass rush. Well, they should have thought about that before they got rid of.
What do you think about Green Bay's situation now on defense with Micah? I mean, how about they got exposed a little bit in their secondary, didn't they, in that game?
Yeah. And I mean, for 3 weeks, Keyshawn Nixon was on his way to the Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah, he was locking them down.
And that was a direct result of a certain person that they added. And then I think if we watch them all year, by the end of the year, the Packers will be one of the 3 to 5 best defenses in football. Like what happened is for 1 week, your coach and your quarterback won.
Yeah. Despite
the fact that Micah Parsons did exactly what he does, which is quick pressure on your quarterback a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't let that win.
Yeah.
You won.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that will happen very often. Playing that well in pressure situations, quarterbacks just don't do it. Your quarterback was Superman. I think the Packers will end up being a good defense, which is why I don't make that big of a deal. Like it's like Micah got erased or Micah can't. And it's like, well, Jamar Chase's team sucks right now.
Yeah.
Nobody does anything alone in the NFL. It's not how it works. You have to have help. Vance is in the super chat. Hey, Dallas. How you can find so many diamonds in the rough like Williams, pay and hire amazing coaches like Clayton Adams. Just a thought. That's the Brian brought us cuss episode. Is how about hiring some freaking coaches? And I will tell you, I think Clayton Adams is a home run. I think he's a home run. And
Coach Riley's a home run. Yeah.
We'll see in time. Shoddy as a head coach. But I think Shoddy as a offensive coordinator calling plays with no head coach in his way, that's good too. Yeah. I think you got some good. You got some good with the coaching. And so I am happy with I'm very happy with some of those hirings. And now because of those guys, you have a chance to beat the Jets by 40. Oh no, it says I'm frozen.
You're struggling right now. Yeah.
So now I'm live from the field.
You're live from the field right now. I look clear as a bell right now.
I'm not frozen on my screen. Well, we got to do something.
Now you're moving around. Now you're good.
I'm back
on my screen. You're back on my screen. Yeah.
Oh, well, I was happy to be your field correspondent for about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Brian, what linebackers do you want to see on the field for the Cowboys?
I'd like to see James get a little bit more work there if it could. You know,
I would too.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice if you can find a way to get him involved. We'll see what happens with I think Murray was on the injury report too, so there might be something going on there. If that's the case, then you probably see Clark again. But I would like to see more James if it was up to me.
I forgot that Damone Clark existed. Yeah, I guess my answer would be Damone Clark and Shamar James. Like, I don't want to write off
James Clark, Leofau, maybe.
When Leofau is out there, like it is fun because you watch a position group play really poorly. And so you just start campaigning for the other guys. Like, why won't these idiots put so-and-so out there? And then it turns out the answer is because they watch them all practice.
Yeah.
And your answer that you thought you had, they had thought that too while watching them practice. They're like, nope. Like, we're putting the guys out there that we think are the best.
James, you need somebody. Yeah, you need somebody that can run. You need somebody that can really, really run.
Yeah.
James can do that.
Yeah, get us some athletes out there. All right, Brian, have yourself a great day. I got to get to Pilates, and congrats to everybody in the chat.
What happened to bicycling? Did you give bicycling up already?
No, I haven't given it up. I just like to do both, a little strength building. We're down to 23.3 on the pool fund, everybody. Just so you know. Okay. Saw the statement yesterday. We're down to 23.3. We're making great progress on the pool fund. So thank you for your contributions.
Help Jeff with the pool fund, please.
That's right. One day we'll get this thing paid off. The cost per use on it is somewhere around $3,000, I think. Everybody remember,